Welcome. Sound activated. Microphone activated. Administrator status granted.
Check. Hey guys, welcome back to the Phlatlab. Sorry about the delay. What the camera's way down. Give me 1 second.
I was tapping on the camera before the show. We were testing the microphone after last week's show. So can you hear us?
Can you hear us now? So anyway guys, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out, and we have a cool show lined up. I hope we can get through it all.
By the way, Mark and Trish Carew, Phlatlboyz.com and Phlat Forum. This is our
Who's that?
weekly Wednesday night Phlatlab live show. Awesome, they can hear us loud and clear.
All right.
If you're watching this as a recording, you want to join us live, you can always go to the phatforum.com, scroll to the bottom of the home page. Be sure to register and be logged in so you can join in the chat.
Hi Al. I see Nick 3D's on.
Asking has an echo.
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 Even now.
Is it possible that you have more than one window open? Just guessing.
You know what, guys? I didn't have a lot of time to set up the camera pictures today because I was doing a bunch of other stuff. But Phil posted a video on YouTube. It's listed under Phil, Phil 14586. If you search that in YouTube, it should come up. He made a helicopter blade holder, so when you're carrying your helicopter around, you can put the blades back, and it's really cool looking, man. So if you get a chance, check that out. I just wanted to give props out to Jovi and Nick on the platform there. How dare me? What did I do? The 3D printer article that he had posted over on Making Foam Fly. If you get a chance, go to makingfoamfly.com and check out that article on 3D printing. It's awesome, man. That's a really great job, Nick.
Yep,
thanks for linking us to that. Also, Jovian is working on, are you guys ready for this? Pocketing for the Phlat script, or Sketchicam I should say now. So it looks like we might have pocketing algorithms going on and able to do fills and things with the Sketchicam soon, which is awesome, man. That's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. So right now I have to go out of SketchUp just for that one procedure. Everything else I can pretty much get done in there. S. Craig Hamilton is, I think he asked me if he could help out with the hot wire bow attachment for the Phlat Printer 3, and he sent me a PM, so I sent him the file that I had that I'd been working on. That first prototype, I looked for any kind of pictures that I posted on it, but I couldn't find them anywhere. So I sent him the file. I know it's somewhere on one of the shows we did it. Maybe we didn't record it or something, but so look forward to that. Hopefully he'll have that coming out, because he's the guy that came up with the Sharpie attachment. It came out really great. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. Vincentel, the S37 flies. He had a maiden flight before this, but he did a maiden flight with all the paint done. If you guys have not seen that, oh my gosh, you got to search at SU-37 TV nozzles or something like that on the platform under the scratch-built aircraft. You won't believe it, man. It is unbelievable. Great job on that, guys. That plane looks awesome. I'd be afraid to fly it too.
Sure.
I can't believe you guys flew it without the landing gear on it. That was the one thing I was like, oh, when it came in for a landing, it just landed in the grass, and I was like, no. But really great job. There's a competition. There's a SketchUp competition going on right now. It's called Sketch Up Your Space. It's at sketchupyourspace.com. You get a chance. Rajib posted this on the platform. The prize is a license to V-Ray renderer, so that should be very cool. If you get a chance to check that out. Something I wanted to show you guys. I just found this out today. I got my Model Aviation magazine with the jets, and if you look at the bottom, it says learn how to design in CAD. And what's cool about this, which I didn't know, is when I went to the article page. Let me show it to you real quick. If you don't have this particular magazine. It happens to be written, and it continues on. Check this out. Oops. C1, what is that? C123? Yep. 8 foot wingspan on that bad boy. No, 80 inches or 8 foot. 80 inch, I bet. It's huge. So it's an awesome article. If you get a chance, I don't know if they have this online or not, to be honest, but RC Aviator, RC AV number 8R on the platform, his name's Dave. He wrote an article a while back about the flat printer and how it's being used to cut out airplanes, and it's kind of really helping out the hobby. But they didn't go that route. They sort of, this was years ago, they sort of been working, he's been working with the editor, and they said, hey, let's do something on CAD, you know. So they did a whole article on how easy it is to design your planes in CAD and then have them tile print it and whatnot. And of course the flat printer gets rid of the tile printing. Now you just basically cut it out, you know. You skip that whole step of trying to pin your plans down and cut them out by hand. But hopefully they'll realize that later and they'll post that. But I just wanted to share that article. It came out great, man. So great job, Dave. That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
I know it's got to be a lot of work to get something like that published, you know. So very cool. And it looks like they're actually looking for him to do another article on what was it? Designing a plane from a 3 view. So he's going to do a whole like tutorial type article on that, on an easy plane. He was asking what kind of plane should I do it on, and a lot of people were saying the Cub. Under the general chat you'll find this. But I think he should do it on something that's more modern, so that the kids of today, it'll catch their eye and they'll really get into it, you know. I was saying like the B-2 or something like that, or maybe even one of the UAVs that you see all the time on TV, like the Predators or something. Just something different, you know. You're always seeing the Cubs, and I don't know. Just my 2 cents, you know.
Speaking of publications.
Hey, Toxic Toast. Sorry.
Hi, Toxic Toast. Make Magazine contacted us. And
Make Magazine contacted us. How cool is that, man? I could not believe it.
And it looks like they're going to be doing a review on the Flatformer.
Yeah.
Yep, we shipped one out to them. They got it yesterday, and they're putting together a whole vacuum forming review, and the Flatformer is going to be one of the vacuum forming machines that they're going to be reviewing. So
that's going to be amazing if we actually see that in Make Magazine. That'd be so cool.
So say a prayer they like it.
Yeah. And I forgot to send them a little tip, which was to tape all the T-slots first and install the nuts before you start assembling, because it's so much easier that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll send them something, I guess a picture, and just say, hope you guys haven't started yet. But very cool, Make Magazine. If you guys are on, thank you so much for that. It's an awesome opportunity. We're honored to be a part of that. And we hope that it helps somebody. with their future builds. Let me see something.
Absolutely.
And ideas.
Speaking of builds and ideas.
Yeah, speaking of builds and ideas, wait a minute. Before I get into that, I wanted to show you guys something that, hey Brandy. What happened was, I saw this picture of, hopefully this works. I'm switching over and hopefully you can still hear me. I saw this picture of Da Vinci created a gear system, and I thought, that's a really cool idea for a gear. It's so simple. I've been looking for simple ways to make a gear system, really inexpensive, and I want to incorporate a linear slide as well. And I thought, well, look at that gear, that's awesome. So I started doing a little research on it, and let me see if I can get this to open up. And I found, if it lets me do it, check, yep. Hey, it's not there for some reason. No, it's not there.
That's strange.
Yeah, let me see something real quick, guys. If it lets me do it. Okay, there it goes. And display. Okay. I found there's a company that's basically taken Da Vinci's gear idea and turning it into a real system. And I started to read about it, and it's pretty amazing. If you get a chance, it's called Nexon, Rotary Motion Control. And it's 99% efficient, high rigidity, low maintenance, corrosion resistant, long life, of course. Very high positional accuracy, zero backlash. We all know there's no such thing as that. But it's just, you got to read about it. They have all the specs on it, and it's really cool. I found this PDF online. You can see some of the systems that they use it for. And it's not just rotary, there's a linear system, sort of. Just interesting. I just really loved it. And so what I did was I said, all right, well, I'm going to take that and see if I can't expand on it a little bit. And just as a prototype, let's see. Okay. I came up with this little thing. And you can see I'm thinking you can see that I got the gear there, and I just used a 1/4-inch cut-off rod and the gear system. And believe it or not, it actually works. It doesn't work very well, but it does work. Let's see if I can get it to actually do something. There it goes. So, you know, this is something to look into for the future for a very inexpensive machine. I mean, extremely inexpensive. And especially as we start getting into the plastic 3D printers, this might be a really cool assembly to print out, you know? Not this big, but still. Just thought I'd share that. I was pretty happy with it. So, speaking of 3D printing,
I'm being happy.
I wanted to show you guys this. Oops. This is what they call the Wade extruder. And what it is it's the component. It houses a very small, I think it's a NEMA 17 stepper motor right here in this slot. It would be coming out with a pinion gear, if this was the axle. And here's the pinion gear. And I know the lighting sucks right here, but I'm trying to show you something. You can see what they did. They basically put a nut in there, and then they used the grub screw with the hole all the way through. Great idea. So they can get their threads in there. So I guess they can't really do the threads that small with that good of an accuracy. It's pretty amazing. What's amazing about it is how strong it is. And I just put this gear on there, but the strength of this plastic is incredible, man. Even that little thing. I mean, I can move it, but it takes a lot. if you look at the bottom here, you can see that there's mess ups, sort of. Try to make it so you can see it a little bit better. But this, guys, is exactly what we want. I just got so tired of looking at the pictures. I knew I needed an extruder to test things out. And they have a hobbed, this bolt has actually been hobbed. There's not much to it, actually. The plastic goes in the top here, comes out the bottom here into your hot end, which is not on here. This bolt is turned by the gear here, which is in turn turned by the stepper motor pinion gear, like this somehow. And then what happens is inside here, this bolt it's like hobbed out all the way around it. So this thing here, if I take this off, it's like spring loaded. You can see, and it is on there too. Let me get this off real quick. Okay. Set this down. Oh, yeah, it's gonna happen.
No.
That's all right. What they did is they put the screws in here. They didn't give me all the nuts and bolts. There's supposed to be 4 of them.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
4 nuts and bolts?
yeah, for this thing. Well, all this does is it creates pressure against the extrusion. But if I pull this off, you can see what they did. There's a bearing in here. And then if you look in here, let me, this is ABS, Nick, as far as I know. If you look in here, it might be that PLA because that's supposed to be even stronger. See how they hob that? That's what happens. See the hole up above there? The plastic comes in there. The bearing that I just pulled off presses against the plastic filament and against this hobbed gear. And of course this hobbed gear is turned by the stepper motor. So it pushes it down through the hole in the bottom, which comes out down here. Pretty straightforward. And after seeing this, I was just like super. This was done on the Rip Rap Mendel, and I was just super impressed with it, guys. Yeah, it's not the prettiest looking part, you know. It doesn't have the smooth textures and stuff, but just the fact that it can do what it's doing, it's awesome. We're gonna make it happen, man.
It's everything that we would need.
It is. It really is for this hobby. I mean, I bought some.
It was really obvious when you had it in your hand. You're just like, this is it. We're on the right path.
Yeah. And I'm sure with all the guys on the forum, we can come up with some. These are really hard to get back in. Let me see if I can get it back in. I wanted to show you what it looks like when the extrusion comes through. Forgot what I was saying. Speaking of 3D printing, that's right. Come on.
Crash 5050, hello.
Hey, Dave.
Rescue
Where
911.
have you been?
Hey, where have you been?
Where have you been, young man? Oh.
That went way under there.
Damn it.
Yep. It rolled once it hit.
Randy, get out of my hair. I don't see it.
Nah, it rolled.
Anyway, what's cool about this? I can't find the other screw here, so you can see that this back is like off a little bit. But what's cool is that when you add the filament in here, of course it gets sandwiched between the hobbed part I showed you, and also between this bearing. So what happens is the way they set this up. The cool part that I like is that this whole assembly moves out, so you can use different size filaments in here. It's a great idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I've got some of this Weed Eater ugly line. What is this called? 0.080, and I'm not sure if it's nylon or not. I'm actually not going to use that one. I got this other one. That one actually has a profile shape of a triangle. I don't know why, but I found this. It's called light duty trimmer line, and it's 0.065. So it just comes in like 40-foot roll. I'm sure you can buy it in bigger rolls. So I cut off a little piece and I'm just going to see if I've already tried it, but I just want to feed it down through there and show you guys. Hopefully it'll work with that other screw being out. You have to kind of get it to catch. Once you get it to catch, I got the filament going in the top here. Once it catches, you can feel that piece kind of move out. There it goes, it just caught. So you should see it come out of the bottom here in a minute as I turn this. There it is. Okay, so that would be like your glue stick going into the tip of your glue gun, and of course it's a very fine tip. It's controlled by a thermostat sensor, temperature sensor, sorry, and a stepper motor controls how much you're pushing in at what time. And there's so many factors that are involved in these that I'm sure we can work on them and just make them so much better. And there's a lot of guys working on them. Plus we have access to all the things at Thingiverse, which is a really cool site if you guys haven't checked that out. And of course we're sharing all our files, and I'm sure we'll share them at both places. So anyway, I just want to show you guys that. I can't wait to get it going. I needed an extruder, but the machine part of it is in the works. They also gave me this little thing. I have no idea what it's for, because I looked at the assembly instructions and this is nowhere to be found. These things update so quick. I'm not even sure what version of this extruder I have. But you can, I want to take some high-res pictures. Like this part is so small it didn't come out that great. But I want to take some good pictures so you guys can really get an idea of what the parts look like up close. Because I had a hard time online finding any real good quality pictures up close.
And we'll probably find out why when we try to take our own.
Yeah. Well, I'll just use a macro lens, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you might have noticed that we had the spinning contest edition on, if you made it for the beginning of the show. And where we left off, which was actually some time ago now, again, if you're just joining us, we've had some unfortunate family issues, and so we're coming out of that. We're on the other side and trying to get back into where we left off, which was our contest edition with the, I'll go straight to the prize. Prize being a CNC USB controller card MK2. And this was generously donated by Andre over at planet-cnc.com. He supplies all of our CNC USB boards, and
thank you, Andre.
Yep, we really.
And he donated this for a prize, and it was really cool of him. It's 9-axis, got a super powerful processor on it. You can hook pendants to it, limit switches, jog keys, the works. He's working on all kinds of new stuff all the time, and this is like, it's almost like a motherboard by itself.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is just really cool.
So here's the prize. What's the contest? So what do you have to do?
Well, hey, Rescue.
I'll just say up front right now, we're going to be sort of figuring a few things out together on the show, as far as rules and things that we need to do and how it's all going to work, because the contest itself is going to be new to us too. So it should be pretty cool. We're excited about it for sure.
Yeah.
Mark's dad came over and helped us get ready for the show tonight. We wanted to have a demonstration of the contest before you get into designing anything for yourself.
My bad.
To give you a better idea of how it's all going to work. And also us too, before we're actually in a judging situation.
Yeah, so you guys, some of you old school guys might remember that we had that bridge contest. You don't have to be that old school to remember that, but this is sort of along the same lines.
Bridge contest was build the strongest span bridge contest.
Right, and basically we set up 2 tables and, you know,
hung
just
bricks, no, sand, wasn't it?
Sand in a bucket until it broke.
I think we got up to like 15 pounds.
I can't remember, but it's on the forum there,
Yeah.
and it was awesome, man.
It was so much
Giefer
fun.
won, though. I remember that. And after that, he designed another bridge that was supposedly stronger. He's waiting for the next foam bridge contest. So that'll be cool. But in the meantime, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, is to make earthquake safe designs. You know, these buildings that you see, I've seen it on TV, where they have these buildings that can withstand like these really high earthquakes. And basically they move at the bottom. They absorb a lot of the shock. The building remains stable. It's a very strong structure straight up and down. But if there's any movement of the earth, the I don't know what you would call it. What would you call that whole assembly? The
base.
The base. Okay, the base. The whole base is designed. There's all kinds of different ways of doing it, but I thought it would be a really hard but entertaining challenge to try to come up with something like that, but out of foam. And there's certain limitations and rules and things that we have to do. Hot glue and foam. So I thought, let's do that. Let's set up. Let's build something. First, let's build a shaker that can shake the heck out of our building, An
earthquake maker.
An earthquake maker, And then we'll build a building. And then what we'll do is we'll have a platform set up at a certain size that will be the build area, is a safe area where you guys can build basically a structure. Now, I have an example here. If you picture this thing, this was on one of Andre's examples. It's a vibration mount. So if you look at it, it allows me to move. This would absorb the shock, and yet your structure still remains rigid, strong. So I thought, if you had 10 columns, or not 10, but if you had, let's say, 4 columns, one on each corner, made like this. Now, it doesn't have to be hardcore, super strong, or anything like that. It just has to be designed. It has to be designed in a certain way where it's very clever. And using foam kind of makes you do that, You just have to, think past, well, I'm just going to put a bunch of thick wood here and that's going to take care of it, If you're using wood or metal or whatever. Foam, you really have to be clever with it if you want strength in certain areas, if you want it flexible in certain areas, like hinges and things like that. So anyway, what we did today was we built the shaker.
The earthquake maker.
The earthquake maker. And can you guys see that all right? This is it. And I actually am pretty proud of the way it turned out. I really like it. As a matter of fact, I think I'll bring this other camera over and I'll show you guys.
Can we turn that light on?
Yeah, that'd be great. With the other camera, what we did to make this. I mean, it turned out pretty nice, I think.
While we're getting set up there, just want to mention that Rescue 911, we spoke to him.
Okay, try that. There we go. Sorry, guys.
So I was saying that the other night we spoke to Rescue 911 and just wanted to take a minute and let you know that him and his family have fallen into some hard times and they could really use our prayers and so anything that you guys can do to help out with that, I'm sure that would be appreciated.
Yep, he's a super cool guy. And we're going to do what we can to help.
That's right.
So, all right, so let's see here. If I can get this going. Hang in there.
Plug this in?
Oh, real quick, before I even go there, I forgot to mention, down in Oklahoma, the schools.
Oh, right.
You want to talk about it? I'll put the picture up there.
Sure, yep. Jeff, one of our Phlat Club members, he's with Perry High School in Oklahoma.
Wait a minute, I think I talked about this last time, didn't I?
Yeah, I think we did too.
Anyway, thanks again, Jeff. Very cool. But this is the flyer that we made for the conference that they had.
I think we did talk about that last week.
Yep. All right, sorry about that, guys. Back to the black curtain view. No, so what the heck is wrong with this camera now?
We didn't really want to go to the black curtain view.
Okay, hold on. That's not cool. No, I don't think it's gonna work, guys. It's not letting me do it. Huh.
No?
No, that camera, excuse me, for some reason, they quit on these cameras. That camera just locked up. Maybe one of the animals tripped over the cord.
No, it's in there.
Okay, don't unplug it, whatever they do, because that'll really lock us up. I think. Oh well. Maybe I can hold it up closer, you know. Let me see.
Maybe I should turn that light out.
Yeah, that'd be good, because it takes away from the thing. That's what I'll do. I'll hold it up closer. Okay, so I mean this is like kind of put together pretty quick, but if you look at the top, that's a 10 by 10 area to work with. We have bolts going through into springs, and this whole center section shakes, as you can see. And what we have in here is one of our spindle motors that I lost the one of the end caps for the brush, so I use that inside of there for the offset. We just have a counterweight, as you can see, maybe. And it's coming through the bottom of that whole assembly, which it's actually pretty heavy. So that whole section moves in there. So that is the flat shaker at this point. And we got our variable speed control at Harbor Freight. And that glue gum is hot, I believe. That really stinks about the camera, because I had some things I had to show on there. Something else I wanted to show you guys.
You know, our power strip over here looks like, you know, back in the day when there wasn't enough outlets and you'd have a whole bunch of plugs plugged in.
I still have
I
plugs.
have nowhere to go.
No. Oops. I wonder if there's some way I can.
We can zoom.
I don't know if I can even zoom. I'm afraid to open something like that up. I could try it though. Let's see if we can zoom in real quick, guys. Can't believe that camera stopped. Let me try something here. Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, it's not working. That stinks. Sorry. Okay, if this show crashes, it's my fault. I'm gonna try to unplug this and plug it back in real quick.
Oh my god, it's definitely on.
Did you get burnt?
Slightly.
Whoa.
Alright, I got an outlet. We had to turn the fan off, but I have an outlet. Everyone was telling us to look out behind us when Brandy was sitting behind us. We missed that on the chat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
by the way, for you guys who haven't seen her, this is Brandy. I can't get that other camera working.
Brandy the flat dog.
The fat dog. She is too. Alright, oh, you're plugged in?
Plugged in.
Okay, so we have the Variac here, so I'm just going to put it on super low. Here's the thing, there's two ways we can do it. If we speed it up real fast, it shakes like crazy. Let me turn it off. But if we slowly bring it up, I think what I'm going to do is put some notches on here. Might have to add some more counterweight, there's tweaking to do. But we can get a little bit of a resonant
earthquake.
Let me see if it's spinning. Under here, the counterweight starts to spin. It's not resin. It's not. What do you call that?
Here we go. We've got an earthquake, folks.
Whoa. Let's see, that's what happens if you go too fast. You gotta kind of. You have to kind of dial it in and let it get going. What do they call that when you get like a wave, sine wave?
Like harmonics?
Resonant harmonics. And if you don't turn it up too fast, I'm thinking we'll count to like 10, you know, and then.
Yeah, we'll have set things. So
Yeah,
to make it, I mean, to make it this as close as possible for each of the buildings.
Yeah.
We'll do the best we can.
So what you would see here is a building that we're going to make. And I'm not sure yet. We have to test it. But we have to put weight. I'm thinking we're going to have to put weight on top of the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your platforms go under here. Now, if you made a platform that was basically just like this platform with the springs and everything, which you can't do unless you make foam springs somehow. But if you did that and it basically just moved along with the platform but the building stayed still, that would be awesome.
Alright, so this is one way. What's the other way to do an earthquake? You said there's two ways.
Wait, I wanted to see if I can build it up because it takes a little while, but you can. We did it out in the shop. But maybe the fact that this table's moving is affecting it a little bit, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Because the table is wiggling.
Yep, rescue 911. The dog did not eat the cat, but the cat has learned how to hide from the dog now. We can't find her half the time.
Okay, so here's like crazy earthquake. Brandy, it just vibrates until. Look at that. See it going like this?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost random sometimes.
Yeah, there definitely might be some randomness during the contest.
But the fact that we can, get it going.
So the rules so far that we know, the
awesome.
base of your building has to fit in this 10 by 10 square.
I gotta tweak this thing a little bit more so
It has to be foam and glue, 6mm. We'll be using our fan fold to cut out the buildings. We'll cut them out live on the Phlatlab show. We'll build them live on the Phlatlab show, and we'll test them live on the Phlatlab show. So it should be pretty good. And of course, the prize is the CNC USB MK2 controller card. Controller card.
Maybe I'll set up a. Well, like I said, I still have to tweak this, but I want to set it up so that it's fair for everybody, you know. Because there's like something like that, believe it or not, man, with the building, it's going to be a gigantic
The
earth.
taller you get. Oh yeah, and it has to be a minimum of 24 inches tall.
No.
No?
Well, no.
No, maximum. Sorry, maximum.
Our building is going to be.
It has to be 24 inches tall.
Our building will be 24 inches tall. Your platform can be as tall as you want it, you know. But of course, the lower you keep your platform, the better off you're going to be because you have a lower center of gravity down here. The platform's real tall.
But we have to have a minimum maximum on the height, or else you could have a skyscraper that's miniature.
We're building the skyscraper. Remember? Oh, I just messed it up. I can play with this thing all night, you guys.
It's true.
Okay.
There.
Let's get something that can roll on there just to look at it. Look at that. Stays in one spot pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a good idea in itself for a platform, isn't it?
Looks to be.
Oh, what is it called? Kapton tape. This stuff right here, super slippery. Handles heat really well, frictionless. Not frictionless, but handles heat really well. We're using it on something we wanted to show you guys. Phlatboyz 3 now has guide rails. So we can, we now have the ability to set our material up, guide it, and we're going to put this up there. You guys can check it out. It's not, the only thing that's kind of a lot of work is the top piece that we have to cut out. But other than that, we're
still working out the details. We have to. We're just about done them, but we're still working on them, and I'm definitely going to need a new cutting surface and.
So it'll,
the guides itself,
as for a kit goes, it'll come with the cutting surface, and it'll come with these, and hopefully it'll come with this Kapton tape. This stuff's expensive, but it's worth it, man. It's so slippery. You don't need bearings. It's like, it's like a linear bearing. I've got the tape on the bottom of these. I don't know if you can see them, but
no, probably not on the camera.
If I take this off, it's going to fall through. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take off this.
Blind Flight wrote, I have 50+ years experience with earthquakes.
There you go. So let me just show you this. So we have slots along the cutting surface here. This was a prototype, that's why it's on this machine. You guys, just so you know, we have 2 flat printers here. One's in the other room, identical machines. The cat is going nuts. Identical machines. Oops. And we are working on some things to make improvements, to change some things, ideas that we have. We're working on the beefier roller system. That one I've already started on that one. I ordered some new belts. They just came in today. So I'm going to try some new things, and hopefully in the next couple Phlatlabs you should see some cool stuff. Oh, yeah. Phlatboyz 3 wise. So here's the tape. Oops, almost nailed the camera. I just, it sticks real well. I put it on the side there. I've also put it on the bottom. That piece in the middle is just for alignment. This piece here, when you're stacking these parts, this piece here actually rides along the front lip behind the drive roller, and it allows us to make sure that we're square. Because if you follow that line is square. I've noticed that with foam, you actually don't want to use these because foam is never straight on the sides. So
unless you use a flat cutter, of course.
Well, yeah, actually, if you'd use that, it would be.
Well, I cut out some fanfold foam before the show, and every once in a while, I'm real good on one side, it goes down real easy for me, and then every once in a while on the other side, I don't know if it's just my angle or what it is, but I can't even get off using a flat cutter. My hand just slips off or something. And
right.
So, yeah, having the sides of your foam straight, of course, unless you buy Depron.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just very cool. We're going to have guides now. And the reason why I wanted to make sure we had guides is because with the beefier drive roller system, I know what we're going to be doing is we're going to be feeding beefier material through there and trying different things. In combination with the Bosch Colt 1 horsepower router, bigger bits, the guide systems for the wood or whatever we're cutting, and then the new roller systems, it's going to be unbelievable, I guarantee it. So we're experimenting with some things too. I want to do some other tests. I've got this machine over here. It's going to be set up with Mach 3. I'll be able to transfer this machine or use this machine on Mach 3. I want to run code side by side and just make sure. I know some of you guys are having problems with circles. We think it might be software related, so we're looking into that. It might not be, but I just want to make sure and go through everything. with 2 machines that I can work
Yeah.
back and forth and just see how it's going.
Yep, and if it's not software related, what is it? And
Yeah, and try to pinpoint it, you know. So that's what we're doing, and what we wanted to do tonight actually was to cut out. I've got a building here. I did this super fast, so I don't even know if it's going to work, but I want to cut it out and just see how it's going to look on here. You know, because we're going to have a minimum height, or we're going to hit our ceiling, because our ceiling is, I can touch it right here, you know. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to move it out of the way. Could you unplug that?
sure.
Thank you. And we'll get that cut out. I've already cut 1 sheet. It's only 2 sheets, so we'll cut that out and we'll assemble it real quick. Shouldn't take long. It's 4 walls, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Can we move this off?
I was just gonna say, we're gonna need this table.
We are gonna need the table. The shaker. I meant to write
You can put
that
it right on the
there.
printer. That face will go down.
Yeah, but the
Over. There you go. There you go.
There we go. All right, so I got a piece of, believe it or not.
Here's the first sheet that we cut out right before the show started. So I'll get started putting tabs
There you
on
are.
this.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
I'm actually going to use this guide. Look how nice that slides on there. It's nice. Now, if I had both guides going in here and sandwiching this piece of foam, you really don't want to do that, because, of course, the foam might be fatter on one end than it is on the back, and it'll just bind up like this. I already tried it. Now, wood, as long as you have a good cut, I think you'll be all right with things like plastic and wood, you know.
Right.
But regardless, it'll just help over long cuts to keep the part straighter, which is nice. And I know already, just from the few test cuts I did, first thing you want to do is run your, regardless of what this front edge looks like, you don't really want to go by that. You want to go by your guide, as long as your guide's square. And then just run your foam back and forth and take a look at it. So I'm going to do that real quick. Get this lined up.
Wouldn't be a skyscraper without 100 windows.
Sorry. I
Okay.
knew that at the time too. I was like, man,
You just couldn't stop yourself.
everybody's gonna hate those windows. Alright, so I have my bit off, and I'm just gonna run this. I'm gonna speed this up 500 inches a
Well, it
minute.
doesn't take that long to cut.
I know, I just want to speed this up and take a look at it as it runs past that guide, because I just got it on there. So anyway, that'll work. You know, you guys all have the mark here on yours. That's like the start point. I've never had that until now, because all my cutting surfaces were the prototype ones, and they never had that. So I'm happy to have that now. Alright, so everything's zeroed out. My bit's close to the foam. I'm going to cut this out.
that out.
Huh?
It's so easy.
Oh, the square?
The whole thing. It's the easiest thing I've ever set up.
I hope it works. I should have put little people in the windows. That's true. So wait a minute. Let me see something real quick because these shirts are locked. Oh yeah. Let's see, what you're gonna have to do is this one first. We can put that on later, but this one we can't. This is the roof. Yeah, we can push this on afterwards. But this one's kind of locked in. So what we'll do is glue this and then we'll push this on, you know? Perfect. Exactly what I pictured in my head. Probably gonna have to make this pretty strong. No? Can you put that back in then? Please? Excellent. Nice cut. You know? Look, it's like an optical illusion. It looks like I'm holding the building on the camera.
Right.
So in reality, I didn't turn the vacuum on, I should have. I'm going to turn it on now. It's 10 by 10, right? Yep. 10 by 10 is what we have to work with. Just the platform. You know? And actually, I'm going to measure this because it's got to fit on the bottom of this, you know? And actually that's going to be flush, so it'll be fine. Gotta let it fall. That's funny. It does feel funny, that's funny. The only thing is with some room, we're going to have to take that one off because it's 27.5 inches wide. We only have about 24.5 inches, I think, to work with. But both of them are. They're really set up for, good run and things like that. Sweet.
So we didn't have the vacuum on for more than half the time, just forgot to hit that switch. So this piece is going to be a little bit dustier than usual.
My bad.
No big deal. Just wanted everybody else to know. Hey, you want to raise?
Yeah. I'm doing all the
Hey, you're
window.
doing mine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
mine.
Go ahead. Let me get it evened up.
No,
I
no.
think we need to scoot back a little bit. There we go. Or scoot the camera down, so I'm either way. It does have to go down a little bit, doesn't it? There.
Randy's got a window, and she's off.
Randy, you don't eat foam. You got a foam eating dog? That's not good.
What other kind of dog would we have?
A foam making dog?
That would be nice. And everything has to be in the trash.
Mm.
Yep.
Randy, don't eat it. Talking extruded polystyrene here. Good girl. She dropped it. Dropped it when I said that. Oh, you're telling me everything has to be in the trash.
All of your parts should be in the trash.
No problem. Here, let me help you with yours.
No, they're not mine. There's one of yours right there.
Nice
There
try.
is.
Trash block.
Go ahead and call that a tie.
You would.
Well, I was being nice because you left that one piece.
Oh, I did?
You left the window.
Thanks.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. Now, that's going to go down after. So we just work our way right around. So,
I think there was 2 tabs in each window. It wasn't that there were so many tabs, it was that there were so many windows. We saw a building the other day, they had so many windows, they had a crane built right into the roof of it.
mm-hmm.
And the people, I'm sure they have to have full-time window washers, and they crane out, and then by the time they're done, they have to start over again.
That's in Philly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the crane comes out the top of the building. It's so weird looking. Even the top is mirror or windowed.
Yep.
There's not a normal angle on that entire building. A normal straight line. Everything has an angle, like a stealth fighter. Stealth plane, you know, nothing straight.
Looks good.
Yeah, you know what I did is I took these tabs, if you look at the actual thing, I made the tabs first and then just copied them over here, flipped them along red axis or whatever axis they would be, brought them in here and made them the slots. So, oh, so this one's going to be reversed. No, I'm upside down.
Phew.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I thought we were in a bit of a predicament there.
This one's going to be tough because we got so much gluing we have to do. Can't reach it.
Come on, go, 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 go. I'll flip the whole building around.
No, you don't. You're fine.
That was pretty fast.
Alright, you work that side, I'll work this side.
Other side.
Wow. Nice. Alright, now, let me get this top real quick. The ones I didn't get. Just want to make sure this is strong because I'm thinking we might have to add weight up here. Otherwise, it might not fall. You know, we've got to give it some kind of a structural dilemma. So if a mishap were to happen, hey, that's illegal. So now we're going to do this one, right? Yep, everything worked out good. Is there anything you want to put in here? No. Wait a minute, that's not right.
Yeah, you have to flip it.
This way?
I think so.
Yep. Okay, we know what we have to do now. Oop. Let me, before we get into that, I want to do a little bit of this side. I can reach pretty far in here.
Oh my gosh, go, go. It's not like this building has to withstand an earthquake or something, Mark.
Tell me. Let's do it. So I might end up even taping that, you know?
Right.
This is prototype stuff, you know, but that's basically it. Okay, let's bring on the shaker.
Yes.
Bring on the shaker. We won't really know anything until we actually get
Good earthquake going.
a good earthquake going, yeah. Which, like I said, I just built this thing, so I'm sure there's a lot more I can do. I need to add more counterweight, I think.
Maybe.
I just don't like an earthquake that only moves on one axis. And when you get that harmonic, that's what it wants to do. I think it should be all over the place, personally. We'll see. If it just moves on one, then that's what it's supposed to do, then that's what we'll do. I did a little bit of research, and it looks like a lot of the guys make them where they only roll on one axis, actually. All right. It's rocking. See if I can get it to shake like crazy like that, you know? It's just not heavy enough for it. Look at the hook. My dad and I had it going real good in the shop. But you have to start it from 0 and let it kind of get in that motion. Slowly work its way up.
It's pretty good right there.
Yeah, you want to set the building on there? Oh, just lost it. You have to let it sit for a while in one motion. See, the other thing I think I have to do is really mount this thing. Because once it gets out of that, it's just a little bit too light on the weight, I can tell. It starts to spin. I can add some more weight to it.
Or maybe just a whole nother thing here. Just sitting on top.
No, I mean to the counterweight.
Oh, no, counterweight.
If I could add some weight to that thing, it'd be set. But anyway, I'm not going to mess with that right now because I can't take the whole
No,
top
we're
off
not
and
that
everything.
now.
But anyway, let's set it on there and take a look
There you
at
go.
it. Okay, so this fits. Make sure it's square. That fits in there. We're going to need something to hold her. It's just going to want to slide. We need like 10 pounds of weight.
10 pounds of weight?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if this weighs. We need a lot of weight. It's doing its thing, man. Totally acting like an earthquake. That's what it is. It needs that weight on there.
Alright, so there's weight on there now.
Well, I put my clines up there.
It's not falling off.
Mm-mm. But you know, if the ground was moving like that, that would be, I would think, pretty hardcore, right? Earthquake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask Al. He knows all about it. It's the only free ride
That's right.
in life. It's weird because it's acting completely different with that on there. We need some more weight.
Oh, here it is. It's glue.
No, I mean real weight. Here, I got something. What we need is a brick or something up there.
No, my gosh.
Oh yeah. Now it's going like this. It's actually more realistic, you know?
This earthquake looks like it's going to gently rock you to sleep. It's okay, Brandy.
Sorry, Brandy. See,
It's a foam earthquake. It's okay. Come back out.
okay, so there's more work that needs to be done to the platform, obviously.
Alright, so explain exactly what they need to do, please.
Okay, so you guys, we're gonna you guys need to build. How can we do this? What's going to happen is the building is going to be up on top of your platforms, whatever they are. Let's say it's just a giant one of these. That's your platform. We'll mount the part that you want us to mount to the bottom of our building, and then the rest will sit on top of here. But we're going to either tape it or glue it to this, just
Right.
even if it's a temporary hot glue situation, because this platform would be mounted into the ground. This represents the ground, so and of course the part that moves would be mounted to your building. So that's what we want. We want you guys to make something really cool that we can put this on top of, and it would basically, the platform moves, the stand would move, but the building does not fall. And when I'm done with this thing, the building will fall if it doesn't have that. That's what I'm thinking,
Right.
Maybe even I'll make like my dad was saying, make a breakaway building that has,
that's a good idea.
sections that if it shakes too much, it goes. Or we were also thinking putting something up here, like a little guy that,
Yep.
if the building tilts at a certain angle, let's say,
He falls.
he falls.
Instead of the whole building.
Or if it moves at a certain speed, he
Right.
falls over, and it gives us an idea, or something like that, or a flag or something, That way we'll be able to judge the contest a little bit better. So what would happen is if your platform was under here mimicking this movement, and yet it's tied to the building, which basically it would absorb the majority of the shock. And even if I have to make this building out of MDF to make it heavy enough to hold your platform down,
Right.
and then we can mount it right to this. The idea is that no matter what we do down here, your building stays the same or relatively close, and your guy doesn't fall over or whatever we have on there.
Right.
Well, that's what we'll come up with. So we have a basically 10 by 10 area to work with.
So what do you guys think? We need a name. Name for the contest.
Hey, Hawk Flyer.
Evil Tune said we should use scrap MDF pieces for the weight on top.
It's a good idea.
Blind Flight said we need some rock and roll music.
That's true.
Rescue 911 said wow. And Hawk Flyer said cool, a live show.
About time. Trying to think of more weight. Anyway,
So yeah, the idea.
I need some more counterweight, obviously.
The idea tonight was
Just
first
to
off,
kind of show it off. And
show it off, test it, because it's not an exact science for these earthquakes, these foam earthquakes, and
the foam quake.
and introduce you to the contest, and also bring back the very cool prize that Andre donated.
Look, it's actually. It started doing a random thing. I like it. Sorry.
Alright. So this is the idea. We'll put together the official rules as we come up with them, to be honest. I mean, until you tried it, it was like, well, we know it has to be 10 by 10 and foam and glue, the obvious, but we need to know how much that weighted building is going to be.
Who does?
3D Mon and everybody else.
That's true.
Blind Flight said rock the crib.
That's a good question. I'm not sure yet.
We'll work out, how about this? We'll work out those details
and we'll post them. It's not going to be a contest where, next week we have the thing. I think we need to really focus on it. There's a big enough work area too. If you use a 16th inch bit, let's say you want to make some real small springy things, that you can glue together. We're going to build them, by the way. Use a 16th inch bit, you could make some really.
Alright, so 16th inch bit is
Wait
part
a
of the
minute,
rules.
you can't use a 16th inch bit, you gotta use an 8th inch bit. I'm sorry, because we have to cut everything out. We don't want to have to keep switching bits every 5 minutes.
Well, we just pick one.
Let's just pick 8th. I mean,
Alright.
8th inch bit. You can use a full sheet of foam. And
Can you make the building file available for download?
yeah, I'm going to post the building file, and I'll post the template. I'm going to post this machine too, because I think teachers might like this. Once I perfect it, for the classes, teach some of the kids what's going on with the earthquakes, and this will be a cool little physics thing, experiment. I wish I would have done when I was in school. Anyway,
Where's Andy? Where's our foam Andy? Is he out on the shelf out there?
In the shop, yeah.
He'd be the perfect guy for on top.
That's a good idea. See what happens? I don't have enough of a counterweight.
Here, Brandon.
That's the problem. Sorry guys, I'll keep playing with that thing till, forever. But that's pretty much where we're at, guys. So things are happening. We're back on it.
No big deal.
Thank you for joining us tonight in the Phlatlab, and we will see you guys on the platform, and next week again in the Phlatlab.
And as we get the details of this, we'll definitely post it in the rules.
In the contest section.
That's right. So just to get you guys thinking about it at this point, and us thinking about it too, and how we're going to pull this off practically.
Yeah. So it'll be a lot of fun.
And if the platform is going to shake much more than it is right now,
It should be doing this right now.
we'll post a video.
That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. We got a walker. So we'll mess with it, man. It'll be cool. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Access denied. Server admin status revoked. Your connection to the server has been terminated. See you soon.
Go to sleep now.